June 4th, 2024 Norfolk Planning Commission meeting to order. Inform the public about the Open Meetings Act posted in the northwest corner and ask for roll.
Wait.
Here.
Sock. Here. Bryant. Huckey. Here. Franklin. QB. Here. Griffith.
Here.
We have a quorum.
And I'd ask for a motion to approve the agenda with 7 through 10 being removed.
To approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Do a motion in a second.
Wait.
Yes.
Sock.
Yes.
Bryant. Or excuse me. Hupkey.
Yes.
QB.
Yes.
Griffith.
Yes.
All commissioners present voting in the affirmative. Motion carries.
And consideration of the approval of minutes of the May 21st, 2024 Planning Commission meeting.
Move to approve.
I'll second.
Motion in a second.
Wait.
Yes.
Sock.
Yes.
Hupkey.
Yes.
QB.
Yes.
Griffith.
Yes.
All commissioners present voting in the affirmative. Motion carries.
Consideration of resolution number 2024 PC-3 approving a waiver of highway corridor overlay district requirements on property addressed as 1202 South 13th Street. And we'll read that in. We approve it before we read it in.
Do we need to read it in
Do we need to
first?
read it in first, or?
It's kind of long. Do you want to read it in or just have them all read it, or I can read it too?
I can read it, I guess. That's fine.
Okay.
Be it resolved by the Planning Commission of the City of Norfolk, Nebraska as follows related to the request for waiver from the landscape strip width requirements stated in section 27-280.27 subsection C and 6 of the Norfolk City Code submitted by RDK Holding and received by the Planning Commission on May 6, 2024. The 10-foot width wide landscape strip continuous along the street frontages requirement shall be waived to require a 7-foot minimum wide landscape strip continuous along West Omaha Avenue street frontage only, with the required landscape strip along South 13th Street shall remain the 10-foot minimum or larger per code due to the following conclusions. That the code requirement would produce undue hardship for the 10-foot width of landscape along West Omaha Avenue due to the property being narrow north to south and the requirement of the front and rear yard setbacks along with the needed drive aisle width to maintain proper safety. That such hardship is not shared generally by the other properties in the same zoning district and vicinity as the property is a corner lot with additional setbacks and abutting two highways. That the waiver requirement would not be of substantial detriment to the adjacent property of character of the overlay district as the slight reduction in square footage of landscape strip along West Omaha Avenue will be added to the landscape strip along South 13th Street. That the granting of such variance is based upon reason of demonstrable and exceptional hardship as distinguished from variations of convenience, profit, or caprice as the property is abutting two highways with setbacks from both and not profiting from the landscape strip width reduction due to no loss of square feet of landscape area with the shifting of landscape area along South 13th Street. Due to said findings, the Planning Commission hereby grants RDK Holding a waiver from that 10-foot wide landscape strip continuous along the street frontages except for perpendicular crossways for driveways and utilities as set forth in section 27-280.27 subsection C and 6 of the Norfolk City Code as follows. The continuous landscape strip requirement along West Omaha Avenue may be reduced from 10 feet to 7 feet minimum. Boy. I would take a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024 BC-3 for waiver of highway corridor overlay district requirements on property addressed as 1202 South 13th Street. Second it.
Thank you. Motion in a second?
Wait.
Yes.
Sock.
Yes.
Hupkey.
Yes.
QB.
Yes.
Griffith.
Yes.
All commissioners present voting in the affirmative. Resolution number 2024 PC-3 is adopted.
And we'll open up the public hearing at the request of Foundry Apartments LLC to consider a zone change from C3 to R3 on property address is 2045 West Passwalk Avenue.
And Jeff, I'll have you go ahead and turn on your mic, just press that bar at the bottom. Perfect, thank you.
Is it on?
Yes.
All right, great. Good morning, Commission. Thank you. I'm Jeff Ray, planner with JEO Consulting Group. Spencer Lombardo here with Foundry. So we've been working on this property for a while. So the next few items are before you. The area is buffered between commercial on 275, and you've got some residential trailers on the, I'll call it the north, but it's really kind of the northeast, and additional commercial to the true north across Passwalk. It's an unusual site. It's kind of stuck in there. There's a wetland on site that we've been working through with the Army Corps of Engineers to get a permit on. They're mitigating that on site, so they're removing 0.23 acres of the wetland and then adding 0.56 acres back. There's also a buffer on that, so there's quite a bit of open space, and it's going to be the central amenity for the site with a trail running around it, and a clubhouse, and then ultimately apartments. Your comprehensive plan does call for this area to be medium density residential, high density residential. So we felt that this is an appropriate zone change to request, as well as the PD to have multiple buildings on one site, on one parcel, and not have everyone on one single parcel. As you can imagine, the access, trying to get through there and trying to get a road through there as well, it was already tight. It was going to be pretty much impossible to try to do a road and do that type of thing. It is also in the highway corridor overlay, so we'll provide, that type of all those materials as we've continued to move forward with the process and all the way up to the building permit. It'll be high quality materials and hopefully supply you with much needed housing within Norfolk. We gave you some illustrations, some of the landscape plans. We exceed the landscape requirements substantially, really, with that mitigation as well as that existing wetland that is on, wetland feature that is on site. So some of the amenities for this apartment complex include a pool and a clubhouse, a walking trail, as well as a dog park area. That's a quick summary of what we're proposing. The developer is here too if you have other questions for him and or for me.
Still sleeping.
Having some technical difficulties.
Mine's not working either.
Oh, great.
You got sock puppets.
Where's it going?
Hopefully you were all able to see the maps and packets at least, yeah. There we go.
The property will have 3 points of ingress egress.
That's correct. We're keeping the existing two, the one directly to the south on the commercial, as well as creating one on Passwalk that lines up with the Hy-Vee to the north, essentially. And then as well as keeping the existing one coming from the trailer park area. Originally, we weren't planning to keep that one, but with broader discussions with the city, they felt that it was prudent that we keep that for emergency egress and for utilities. So we revised our site plan to accommodate that to fit into there.
You said you're still in talks with the Army Corps?
We're at the very end, just to the point of like, give us your letter of credit and then we'll issue the permit. I mean, so we're well down that path. It's been,
There's no concerns or hangups with that, though?
no, we're mitigating at a 2-to-1 ratio, more than a 2-to-1 ratio, and then you can see those hatched areas are the 50-foot buffer areas that are upland from the mitigated wetland areas. So overall, we'll create a fairly large area. The biggest concern probably was, is there gonna be enough water to maintain it as a wetland? Is there enough water today to maintain it as a wetland, was probably that bigger concern. So we're supplementing that, going a little bit deeper to get to the groundwater level on some of those things and doing all that environmental engineering and design. And the Army Corps has already approved that portion of that.
In each building, how many apartments are you looking at?
It's 178 total, so that first building you see where it says pool area at the entrance closest to Hy-Vee, that'll have a clubhouse attached to that building. And then the other 3 buildings vary in size based on, it was just a really tight site plan, so to get as many units as we wanted to get in there. And so the buildings that you see with the notches on the end, those are your 3-bedroom units. 3 stories tall, so we have about, I think, 36 3-bedroom units.
So,
And I think that's really key to help kind of solve the housing crisis, is adding some 3-bedroom apartments.
Those are pretty hard to come by.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Your access on the west end, does that line up with Taylor Avenue? Or is that one of the?
Is that the entrance to Hy-Vee?
No, it's, that Taylor Avenue would be the street north of Hy-Vee.
yeah.
That's Taylor Avenue there,
Does it, or does it line up?
Yeah, that's
There's-
what we light up with.
With Taylor Avenue.
With Taylor, not
Okay.
with Hy-Vee.
Oh, not with
Okay.
Hy-Vee?
Yeah, I misspoke.
got it,
Yeah, Anna, you're right.
thank you.
But you probably preferred to line up with the street anyway, not the.
Right, correct,
Yeah, okay.
yep.
There's a 8-foot trail that we're putting along Pass Walk as well.
Was there any plans, Steve, for the future of that, to hook up to that trail?
As we do redevelopment in there,
Okay. Thank you. This is a public hearing. If anyone else would like to speak on behalf of this topic. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Turn it up for discussion. It's well needed. I think the biggest concern at the beginning was just the wetland portion, how that was gonna be affected and how to get through all that. But I think that was probably the larger of the focus, but desperately needed.
Yes, needed, and it does conform to the comprehensive plan as well, so it makes sense.
I'd take a motion.
I'll move to recommend the zoning change from C3 Service Commercial District to R3 Multiple Family Residential District on property addressed as 2045 West Paswalk Avenue.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second.
Wait,
Yes.
Sock? Yes. Hupkey?
Yes.
QB?
Yes.
Griffith?
yes,
All commissioners present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
I guess I should have just opened up both public hearings at the same time. I will open up this public hearing at the request of Foundry Apartments to consider the preliminary plan development on property addresses 2045 West Paswalk Avenue. Any other concerns on? No. Would you like to add anything else?
It's the same thing, so if you have any other additional questions or anything that's come up in the time, we'll hear it answer them.
Thank you. Anyone else like to speak on behalf of this topic? Seeing none, I'll close this public hearing, open it up for discussion. Limited discussion, I guess.
I'll make a motion to recommend the preliminary planned development on property addressed as 2045 West Paswalk Avenue.
I'll second that motion.
Motion and a second?
Wait,
Yes.
Sock? Yes. Hupkey?
Yes.
QB?
Yes.
Griffith?
Yes.
All commissioners present voting in the affirmative, motion carries.
And consideration of recommendation of the final plat of the Sherbeck Second Subdivision. Is there anyone that is here on this one who would like to speak? Yeah. Fair enough. If you just come up and sign in for us.
Do you need a pen?
Just give it back. Appreciate it.
So, just to find for the final, we sold off part of our land to my in-laws, which is going to be the bottom half of that. It'd be the kind of the northeast, and then so our house is going to be on the other side. So the proposed is just going to give them the lot closest to them, and we would take the other lot. Is basically what we're doing it for. Instead of having the two or the one split between the two of the properties.
Anything else, Val, you'd like to add?
No, we zone changed this. We cleaned up that zoning that was kind of strange out there when the original plat came through into 3 lots. And so it's all our zoning now, so we cleaned that up. And so these are technically 2 buildable lots if they want to sell them off then, and other people can build on them at that point in time.
Gotcha.
I do have one question. On the one closest to Highway 24, will there be able to be a driveway on that? Off Highway 24?
That is a Steve question.
Okay.
I mean, it looks like you have plenty of frontage there.
And sir, if you could please state your name for the record.
Andrew Sherbeck.
Thank you.
Looks like you have almost 975 feet. Steve, would they get a driveway in 975 feet?
In the lot two,
Yeah.
I'm sure they would.
I mean, that's not in any,
It would be a DOT permitted access. They wouldn't deny access to a platted lot.
Fair enough.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thanks.
If there's no further discussion, I would move to approve the final plat of Sherbeck Second Subdivision.
Second.
We have a motion and a second?
Wait,
Yes.
Stock. Yes. Hupkey,
Yes.
QB,
Yes.
Griffith.
Yes.
All commissioner members present voting in the affirmative. Motion carries.
Any other open topics or concerns? Seeing none, I take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.